As the Actuarial Foundation continues to further its mission to develop, fund, and execute education, scholarship, and research programs that serve the public and the profession, by harnessing the talents and resources of actuaries, the ACLI and SOA have collaborated to jointly host the Actuarial Foundation's Insurance Legends Golf Classic and Award presentation in conjunction with the ReFocus Conference. In order to underscore the importance of developing industry leaders for tomorrow, this year's Insurance Legends Award presentation will continue the tradition of recognizing those outstanding individuals. Today's inductees join those previously honored, whose leadership, intellect, and personal achievements soar above and beyond the ordinary, making lasting contributions to the insurance community and to society. We continue to express our gratitude to these individuals. And now, the Actuarial Foundation is honored to present our 2014 Insurance Legends.
Ed grew up in a very much working class old suburb of Milwaukee, West Dallas. Went to high school there and worked in a grocery store when he was younger. Before long, he was running the grocery store while basically still in high school. He went then to the University of Wisconsin in Milwaukee, UWM. Started out in forestry, but then moved into finance pretty quickly. Ed wanted to be running something, not studying something. Ed and his wife Diane, who he met back in high school, were married in 1967. They have two daughters. One lives in Detroit, one lives in Mequon, and they have two grandsons living in Mequon. Northwestern Mutual was hiring very much in the late 60s. He answered a want ad in the paper. He was quickly sent over to the investment department and was hired in September of 1969 while still going to school and earning his bachelor's and finally master's degree. Ed started out as a stock trader. He got interested in bonds. As a result, he continued to get more responsibility until he was running the bond department and finally running the entire investment operation. Ed took over as CEO in 2000. He was still organizing his office when 9/11 happened, and he had a big impact on how Northwestern responded to that tragedy. He headed a team that flew out to New York with claims people, attorneys, and to make sure that claims paid as quickly as possible. It was only a few years later that the economic crisis hit and the Great Recession. Ed knew what was going on and could steer the company through that with minimum disruption. I enjoyed working for Ed and enjoyed knowing that he was leading the company where I have my life insurance policies, that he was going to be a good caretaker of the Northwestern Mutual franchise, and everything under his responsibility. He was doing it for the benefit of the organization and not just for the benefit of Ed Zore. During Ed's CEO years, he took a turn as being chairman of the ACLI, the American Council of Life Insurers, during an interesting time, and he worked closely with actuaries and others in the industry. I understand that the effort has finally come to bear some fruit through adoption by the National Association of Insurance Commissioners, but Ed was heavily involved in that through the ACLI. Ed is definitely a Harley guy. He likes anything that goes fast. He has a wide range of interests, certainly investments being a major one and the foundation of his career. He enjoys hunting and fishing. He has quite a model railroad set up in his basement. He has a wide range of interests and likes to stay busy. Some of us very much enjoy having a lot of leisure time in retirement. Ed, not so much. He has many hobbies, which he enjoys, but he is still very active in the community. He's active on corporate boards, including Renaissance Re. He remains on the board of Northwestern Mutual, the Russell Company, Manpower, the Medical College of Wisconsin, Children's Hospital in Milwaukee, United Way, and raising money for his church. So Ed, congratulations on this Legend of Industry Award. It is well deserved. Thank you for calling me and giving me the opportunity to run through some of this material for the audience. It's been great working with you.
Patricia is passionate about the actuarial profession, and she approaches everything with a desire to do her best and to do the right thing. Well, when I first got to know Tricia Guinn, it was about 30 years ago, and back then I was impressed with her dedication to producing really high-quality actuarial work. But I think one of the things that really makes Tricia stand out is she's got excellent business judgment too, and she has integrity and just good old common sense. And if you really want to know what makes Tricia tick, you have to go back to her roots in Arkansas. She grew up around strong women, starting with her mother, Helen, and her mother instilled in her a dedication to achieving academically as well as community service. Well, one thing interesting about Tricia is she attended school in a 3-room Catholic schoolhouse with students of all kinds of ages. And when she was in 2nd grade, she often was competing with students as old as 8th graders. And she would often get the highest scores in the class. So I think at a young age, Tricia realized that she was very good at math. Well, she attended college at Hendrix University and graduated with honors. And later she pursued postgraduate studies at Columbia University in New York City. Well, she was focused on becoming an actuary, so she moved to New Orleans and she joined the consulting firm of Nelson and Warren. And that later became Tillinghast, Nelson and Warren. And it was a bit unusual to be a female actuary at the time, but Tricia really focused hard on producing good quality work, and I think she found the firm to be a genuine meritocracy. Well, during the late 70s and the early 80s, like many of us, Tricia was consulting on the front lines of the insurance industry and trying to help her clients with some of the challenging events like disintermediation and a time where interest rates were rising very fast. And Tricia's approach was to develop products for her clients as well as help them through some of the complex regulatory changes, and there were many tax changes at the time as well. And I think at that time, Tricia probably realized that one of her skills would be to go beyond the financial models and help her clients solve broader business issues. Well, throughout those years, Tillinghast continued to grow and evolve, and then in the late 80s merged with Towers Perrin. And at that time, Tricia was rising fast in her career. And by 2001, she was named Managing Director of all of Towers Perrin's risk and financial services divisions. And then later, I think it was about 4 years ago, she also was in charge of integrating Towers Watson's merger, which was a combination of Towers Perrin with Watson Wyatt. Today, Tricia is a member of the Towers Watson Global Executive Leadership Team, and she's in charge of a segment of over 2,000 associates. And that's pretty remarkable when you think she started in the New Orleans office of 6 people. Well, somehow, amidst all this work, Tricia found time to support the actuarial profession. She served for 6 years on the board of the Actuarial Foundation and worked on many initiatives with them. Some of the topics that are of a special concern to her are actuarial standards and raising the bar for professional standards for actuaries. She also is interested in actuarial professional development. In 2009, Tricia was asked to testify before a House subcommittee on systemic risk and federal oversight of the insurance industry. She's also received many awards, and one of them is she was listed in Business Insurance as one of the 25 women to watch in 2009. Well, one initiative that's close to her heart was started by the Actuarial Foundation called Rebuilding Math Classrooms, and it was in states that were swept by Hurricane Katrina and then later tornadoes that destroyed many classrooms. Well, Tricia was also instrumental in the development of the ERM Research Excellence Award, presented in honor of Hubert Mueller, a former colleague of ours. Well, I'd be remiss if I didn't say that Tricia has a fun side too. She has a great sense of humor, loves a laugh, and here's a photo of her at an awards ceremony that we had at Tillinghast. She's presenting benefit briefs to the head of our firm, which coincidentally was also the name of our company newsletter. Well, Tricia loves dancing and yoga. In fact, she's on the board of a small dramatic ballet company in New York, and she's also been very involved in her daughter's ballet academy. Most of all, Tricia is very devoted to her family, her children Kimberly and Charles, and her husband Jared, and she'll be the first to tell you that everything starts from family and it flows from there. Tricia Guinn has been an inspiration to so many of us and is so deserving of this award, and I know it'll mean a lot to her. Tricia, as your longtime friend and colleague, it gives me great pleasure to present you with this award. You are truly a legend in our industry. Congratulations, Tricia.